One of you gave us your recipe, General Tso's pork jerky. Now we've had this suggested to us before, but when I saw your recipe, I knew now was the time we had to make this. And I want to find out if this is a genius idea or if this is just a complete waste of my time. But it's your recipe, so let's make it. Now usually when I see General Tso's, it's usually in the context of chicken. General Tso's chicken at a Chinese restaurant. And usually it's almost a complete flavor bomb. It's sweet, it's sticky, it's fried, and it's sauced within an inch of its life. And now I guess we're just gonna dehydrate that, turn it into jerky? But here's the thing, it actually worked, sort of. The original recipe was good, but I think it had a little more potential. I think it was missing a few key ingredients. So we took it, rebuilt it a little bit, and I think we made it a little better, but we'll see. And today, Joey and Kenny are gonna eat it and try it along with me, and we're gonna find out if it deserves to stay or to be killed off and never referred to ever again, ever, ever, ever. But first, why are we making General Tso's pork jerky when everybody knows it's General Tso's chicken? Because General Tso's isn't about the protein, it's about the flavor. That sweet, salty, and spicy glaze, once you nail that flavor profile, you can put it on anything. Fish, chicken, vegetables, and pork. Pork is perfect for jerky. It's probably one of the most underrated proteins for jerky. But then here's the million-dollar question in this whole thing. Who was General Tso? And what do you have to do to get a whole dish named after you? Turns out he was a real dude. He was a Qing Dynasty military leader in the 1800s, Hunan province. He led armies, crushed rebellions. He was a total legend, apparently. But the weird thing is he probably never even ate this dish. The dish that we've come to know was invented in the 1950s by a chef named Peng Chong-gui in Taiwan. So he had to create a dish for an American diplomat, and he came up with this savory, a little sweet, Hunan-style heat classic. But when Peng moved to New York in the 1970s and opened a restaurant, he just completely Americanized that dish. More sugar, more frying, more sauce, you know, America. And the dish exploded with popularity. By the 90s, General Tso's chicken was everywhere. It kind of became the face for Chinese American food. And that's what makes it iconic. It's not traditional Chinese, it's American fusion. Immigration and adaptation. It's a flavor that evolved to survive. So when Lady Smith 357 sent me the recipe, I loved the idea. But, and I mean no disrespect to you, Lady Smith 357, but I just felt like the marinade was just a little too thick, that it wouldn't really penetrate in. And it also needed a little bit more salt. Thought I'd kind of reimagine that a little bit so that we made a marinade that would really deep penetrate into the meat. But that's my take. We'll see how it turns out. All right, so here's what we're building. We start with a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. That's your salt and your umami anchor. They originally had like 2 tablespoons. It just wasn't enough. The soy sauce gives you the salt that makes jerky taste like jerky, not just meat candy. Now 1/2 cup of hoisin sauce. This is thick, sweet, fermented. This is your glazed base. Then a 1/4 cup of gochujang. This is Korean fermented chili paste. It gives you that funky slow burn heat. Then a 1/4 cup of sesame oil. It's aromatic, nutty, and it ties everything together. Plus this is one of those ingredients that's really gonna help carry that flavor all around. Then 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. This is liquid umami. This is what makes it taste expensive. 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Now this gives you the acid. It helps cut through the sweetness and brighten the whole thing. Really helps tenderize the pork too. 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. Yeah, the sauces are already sweet, but we want caramelization. We want that glossy lacquered finish when it's dried. Then 2 to 3 tablespoons of pineapple juice. Now the pineapple juice really loosens the marinade so it actually penetrates the meat. Plus, pineapple has bromelain. It's a natural enzyme that really helps tenderize the meat. But you gotta be careful when using pineapple juice. Don't use too much or do it too long. It'll make the meat mushy. 2 cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. This is a non-negotiable. This is what makes it smell like a Chinese restaurant. The good kind of Chinese restaurant. Now I'm gonna blend it all together until it's smooth and pourable. When it smells like garlic, ginger, and fermented funk, that's when you know you nailed it. But just wait till you see what happens when this comes out of the dehydrator. The transformation on this is gonna be wild. I got this 2-pound pork tenderloin. It's lean and clean, and it's perfect for jerky. I popped it in the freezer for about 30 minutes to firm it up a little bit. That's really gonna help in the slicing stage. This is only in for about a half hour, and honestly, it wasn't enough. If I had more time, I'd probably leave it in for another half hour, 45 minutes. It just started to firm up enough, but not enough in the middle. But we're slicing anyway. Next, I'm gonna slice it with the grain in about 1/2-inch slices, because I'm gonna use these and feed them into my jerky slicing machine to give us consistently sliced strips. Now you do you when you're slicing this up. Go from an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch. The thinner stuff dries faster and crisps up. The thicker stuff gives you chew. Your call, but I'm going closer to a 1/4 inch. Too thick and you're making pork chops, too thin and you're making jerky paper. Then just dump all that sliced pork into the bowl of marinade and really use your hands and get in there. Massage that marinade into every single piece. Do not half-ass this step. You want full coverage on every square inch of these strips. And you want all this marinade in the meat, not just sitting on top. That's part of the reason we added pineapple juice, is it helps that marinade movement. So pro tip, if you're mixing your marinade and it's paste thick, do not skip the pineapple juice. I've seen people try to force really thick marinade into jerky, but it ends up just kind of sitting on the surface. That ain't the move for me. Then go ahead and throw a lid on that bowl, seal it up, now it goes into the fridge. Bare minimum of 4 hours. Overnight is better, but we're going for 24 hours. This is where the flavor really moves in. The soy sauce seasons the meat. Then the acid kind of breaks down the fibers. The pineapple enzyme tenderizes it a bit. And then all those aromatics, the garlic, the ginger, the sesame, they soak into every fiber. When you pull this out of the fridge tomorrow, it's going to be dark, sticky, and I promise it's going to smell incredible. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people think that jerky is just dried meat. But what you're about to see, basically meat alchemy. Stay with me. All right, it's been 24 hours, now it's time to dry. Look at that color, it's got deep mahogany. That is the soy and the hoisin right there doing their thing. For this one, I'm gonna hang dry the strips instead of laying them flat on the racks. I pierce them with these skewers and then hang the skewers from the trays using stainless steel S-hooks. This doesn't do anything to change the flavor. It just gives it a completely different mouthfeel and a chew than flat laid out jerky. And sometimes I just prefer that texture. Today is one of those days. I'm gonna set my jerky making machine to 158 degrees. Now this is gonna take at least 4 to 6 hours depending on how this dries. So I'm gonna kind of babysit it through it. What you're looking for is like a leathery texture. The meat itself should bend without snapping, but not be wet or tacky. Checking it at the 3-hour mark, you'll see that the edges start to darken. That's that sugar caramelizing. When the edges go deep red and sticky, that's the caramelization magic that I'm talking about. That's basically the brown sugar and the hoisin turning into a glaze. I check it again at hour 4, still a little soft. Hour 5, getting close. Hour 6, perfect. Look at that sheen. That's the sesame oil right there. The color's deep, glossy, and it's almost black in certain spots. General Tso's pork jerky. Built from a viewer recipe, and we might have just made this one legendary. All right, this is the moment. We've built this recipe from the ground up. Joey and Kenny haven't had this one yet, and honestly, I have no idea if they're gonna absolutely love this or completely roast me forever. Let me drag them in here and we'll find out. All right, moment of truth. Joey, Kenny, we got this recipe sent in for this General Tso's pork jerky by Ladysmith 357. If this ain't completely bombs, we're putting it on her. I ain't taking the fall for this one. All right, so it's pork jerky. We don't usually do pork jerky, but a little different thing for you guys today. What do you get by looking at it?
To be honest, it looks pretty legit. I'm not a big fan of pork jerky normally, but that looks really good.
A little reddish.
Got some sheen to it. Definitely has a good smell to it. I mean, what do you guys think of the smell?
I think it smells really good, to be honest. It smells like Chinese food.
I'm getting a heavy garlic.
I can definitely get that hoisin sauce. And like I said, it got a little sheen to it, maybe a little glaze-like to it. Like it looks really good, and it smells like Chinese food.
To me, it looks like beef jerky almost.
Yeah, definitely a little lighter color. I think if this was beef, it'd be a much darker color. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's get in it. Let's taste it.
Okay, I'll be honest, this is really, really good.
It has a really interesting flavor. Even when we were making it, I got the smell of peanut butter somehow.
It definitely doesn't taste like peanut butter.
You don't think? Because I get a little peanut butter. I don't know where it's coming from.
It's got a little spice too, I didn't expect that.
There's a little bit of kick to it, doesn't it?
I think it being pork is a nice change of pace.
Like I said, I'm not normally a big fan of pork jerky. I think this is really good.
I think pork's underrated. We tend to always go to beef when we make stuff, but there are some flavors that are just better on different types of protein. I think pork was a good choice with this one. So what do you guys think of the texture? I enjoy this mouthfeel. It just chews different.
I prefer this texture. Not as tough as I thought, but still tougher.
I think it's almost a perfect texture. Good mouth experience. Yeah, I think on like a blind taste test with different meat types, I think we do well in general.
It's hard because I just keep eating more and more of it. I just keep going for more pieces.
You do this in every video, by the way. So yeah, what most people don't realize is a secret to the recipe, the General Tso's recipe here. It's not just like the sweetness, but it's like the balance. It's the balance between the sweetness sweetness and the fermented funk. It's a perfect balance. That's why the Chinese restaurants always get it right. Like, they seem to have that ratio just nailed.
Yeah, for me, it's the balance between the garlic and the ginger that gives it that identifiable General Tso's flavor.
But yeah, that's definitely the goal, is just tying all that stuff in there. The garlic, the ginger, with the gochujang and the hoisin, all that stuff builds those layers. I think this really works, and I think it works on pork. I think this is a great pick.
Yeah, I feel like I could eat this entire pile.
I feel like you could too.
All right, so $1 million question. Do we keep this flavor or do we kill it?
This is a banger.
I didn't know if I would like it as much as I do. Like, if it was on chicken, I think I would love it. On pork, I was a little iffy about it, but I think it turned out really, really good, to be honest.
Absolutely right. I'd say keep.
So Ladysmith 357, thank you for giving us this recipe. We took your blueprint, made a couple tweaks to it, and we think it's awesome. 3 thumbs up from us on this one.
I think we should do more subscriber recipes, I feel like.
100% we should do more subscriber recipes. If you guys have any recipe ideas, something interesting you think we should do, drop it down in the comments. We might make it like this.
Yeah, agreed. I think y'all got good taste.
All right, Ladysmith 357's General Tso's pork jerky, done and in the books. And again, if you have any flavor ideas for things you want to see us make, leave it down in the comments. We might make yours on our next video. That's it in the test kitchen. I'll see you guys next time.